Welcome back to Rope Coaching's YouTube channel. This video is analysing problem 4 of the women's semi-final boulder round and specifically looking at the different techniques used by the different athletes. So we go into detail. It's not a monetized video, purely for educational purposes. So hope you enjoy it. Make recommendations for more analysis videos. In this video, we're going to find out why Janja didn't flash problem 4, but how she was so close to it. She also tried multiple different things, and we're going to look at the nuances between attempts and also compare Janja's attempts to other athletes like Brooke Rabatou, Natalia, Grossman, and Jessy Pilz. It's so fascinating to see the tiny minutiae of beta affecting how the athletes perform on this really technical and balancy slab. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So this is the move specifically we're going to look at. And on Janja's flash go, she had a front on left toe, stepped through on her outside edge of her right foot, kept her arm above her head, and then flicked into this and fell off. Now, if we take a look at this move, her foot was front on, her knee was open, so her hip was open, allowing space to step through. Now, as she did this, she placed her right foot, and you can see that she kind of jumped with vigor into this position. Now, if we compare that to Brooke, who did a very similar thing, stepped through on the outside edge, slightly more front on with the right toe, it allowed her to shift over and use a bit of coordination to save her. You can see that as Janja goes, she flicks her center of gravity too far, too much energy, also compressing her left leg, swinging her off, giving her no directional force or poor directional force through the next handhold. Now you'll see that as she steps across, her arm is also bending and coming into that next hold. This has repercussions, which we'll look into now. So her right foot's on an outside edge. Her right arm at the moment is open, so her hips are quite open to the wall, keeping it quite close. She's leaning away from that hand, and her center of gravity is over her feet. But as she brings her right hand into play and her foot is front on, and her ankle's dropped, it pushes her heel out, and she also drops the right foot. This means that she's falling away from the wall rather than being open, which is on the left. Now, as we watch Brooke do this, you can see that she's keeping her hands wide spread out. Her right foot steps through, but then rotates slightly to allow her to shift her center of gravity with control. It's really well done. You can see most crucially, Brooke's leg is straight, Janja's is bent. Brooke's foot is like sideways on, Janja's is front on. That pushes her knee out, and her center of gravity is further to the left than Brooke's, which is over her 2 feet. Her right arm comes across, pushing her open even further. Brooke's is still above her head, keeping her chest in. Now this means that as they step across, Janja's leg bends, Brooke stands up. Interestingly, when we look at Natalia, she has very good ankle flexion. And she does a very similar thing, but manages to keep her center of gravity on this right foot because she opens her foot so much. You can see that as it's the left foot's sideways on, the right foot's front on, it means that she has control, shifting her center of gravity from right to left, allowing her to do this whilst maintaining contact with the right foot. Really, really well done. And then makes that 10 points with ease. Interestingly, we also see Jessy Pilz do a similar thing, but she steps through with the right foot on her inside edge. This also allows you to have much more control. You can see that she's completely chest in, open hipped, but allows you to shift your center of gravity from right to left with utter control, maintaining the weight on 2 feet. Ultimately, Janja on her final go chooses to do something else, goes into her toolbox and jumps the whole way through. So uses a complete inside edge of her left foot, allowing there to be a gap with the right foot, steps through, and ultimately cruises this 4th and final problem. So yeah, a quick analysis from us, really exciting to see, and we're excited to see the next round. But I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more analysis.